Hare Krishna. We were reading from Canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 14, and today we'll continue the discussion. Canto 5, chapter 14. I believe we had discussed till text 8, and today we will proceed ahead with the discussion from text 9 on. Prachicha Vatya Pamyaya Pramadaya Aropitas Adakalarajasa Rajanibhuta Iva Sadhu Mariyato Rajas Valaksa Vidig Devata Atirajas Valamati Navijanati. Sometimes, as if blinded by the dust of a whirlwind, the conditioned soul sees the beauty of the opposite sex, which is called pramada. Being thus bewildered, he is raised upon the lap of a woman, and at that time his good senses are overcome by the force of passion. So he thus becomes almost blind with lusty desires and disobeys the rules and regulations governing sex life. He does not know that his disobedience is witnessed by different demigods, and he enjoys illicit sex in the dead of the night, not seeing the future punishment awaiting him. But Bhagavad Gita 7.11 it said, Dharma viruddha bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarasama. Sex is allowed only for begetting of children, not for enjoyment. One can indulge in sex to beget a good child for the benefit of the family, society, and world. Otherwise, sex is against the rules and regulations of religious life. A materialistic person does not believe that everything is managed in nature. And he does not know that if one does something wrong, he is witnessed by different demigods. A person desire, he thinks that no one can see him. But this illicit sex is thoroughly observed by the agents of Supreme Personality. Therefore, the person is punished in so many ways. Presently in Kali Yuga, there are many pregnancies due to illicit sex, and sometimes abortions and cheating. And a man and woman who create such a situation are punished in the future by the stringent laws of material nature. Daivi Gudamai Mama Maya Duratyaya. Illicit sex is never excused, and those who indulge in it are punished. Life after life is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 16.20. Asanim yonimapanna muda jimani janmani mama prapya iva kaunteya tato yanti adamam gatim. Attaining repeated birth among the species of demoniac life, such persons can never approach me. Gradually, they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. Personality of Godhead does not allow anyone to act against the stringent laws of material nature. Therefore, illicit sex is punished life after life. Illicit sex creates pregnancies And these unwanted pregnancies lead to abortion. Those involved become implicated in these sins, so much so that they are punished in the same way in the next life. Because in this life, in the next life, they also enter the womb of a mother and are killed in the same way. All these things can be avoided by remaining on the transcendental platform of Krishna consciousness. In this way, one does not commit sinful activity. Illicit sex is the most prominent sin due to lusty desire. When one associates with a mode of passion, he is implicated in suffering life after life. Maharaj Jadabharat is speaking about the whirlwind. The whirlwind of sixth life. The question which comes here is that why is sex life in that sense, uh, as is being explained, which Prabhupada here punished to such a heavy extent. Here it says it is punished. It is a sex life unless it's punished. Uh, life after life. The Lord Himself, if you see, is giving the license to the living entity for regulated and sanctified enjoyment. And for that reason, the Lord has designed various ceremonies, and ritualistic performances. When one is on that path, then one is saved from the degrading phase or the degrading downpull or the drag of the sense objects. Now, the point which comes is that when one goes unrestricted, then the effects it creates on the person are very, very ghastly and nasty. Therefore, the acharyas explained that the sex life is the greatest expression of envy towards the Supreme Personality of God. Because it is such a gross form of indulgence. This gross form of indulgence actually dulls one's intelligence to a very great extent. Therefore, you see, it is compared to a whirlwind. Whirlwind completely makes a person blind, helpless, crushed, and trapped. Person cannot get out of it. And therefore, this is a very apt analogy to explain this illicit sex affairs. You will see whatever heinous problems are existing in the society today are simply because of this unrestricted sensual drive, which intensifies or increasing one's attachment towards the sex. Many times, when we see the world affairs, we can wonder how human beings can become so heinous and perform such heinous activities. But it is because of flaring up this sexual drive. That's all. And modern day society, unfortunately, has become such a place where uh, the sex life is given such a priority. Therefore, when we had our this tribal hostel, we unfortunately could find out that even 10 years old children were addicted to pornography and performing homosexual activities. The age has gone so degraded. Now, what's wrong with that? It makes a demon out of it. Such a demon uh, who can go down and degrade and perform any kind of horrible, horrifying, ghastly, heinous acts. You see, all the heinous issues in the society today are simply because People are taking this avenue very casually. That is the point. Simply because people are taking this avenue very casually. And people think, okay, what's wrong? There's some enjoyment on it. It is not enjoyment, it is perversion, ghastly perversion. So that is the reason it is punished. Illicit sex drive. The reason it is no, there is punishment for it is because it can make a person into a heinous, ruthless, uncontrolled demon. So person who has not surrounded himself with the instructions of the Shastras, with the spiritual principles, such a person can degrade to any extent and perform unimaginable, nasty, horrible, whether it is rape or child abuse or uh, horrible acts. So that is why this is compared to as a whirlwind. One should be afraid of it because it's like a whirlwind. Once we get caught by it, where did you? All one's sense of understanding simply lost. All one's sense of uh, discrimination, auspiciousness is simply lost. Therefore, a progressing sadhaka has to be very, very careful. One can, so in this material world, one can be so happy simply following the principles of the Lord in subservience to the Supreme Lord and trying to interpret every aspect of this material world to make it an offering to Krishna. But this very drive takes one so off track and astray from the mainstream Krishna. The simplest of the things, you see, people think so many times abortions are natural. Abortions are ruthless, cold blooded murder, nothing else. That's why they are punished. That's why they are punished. So, uh, let's read further. Text 10. क्वचित् सकृत् अपकथ विषय वैतथ्याश्रयम् पराभिध्यानेन विभ्रा विभ्रंशित स्मृतिस्तैव मरीचितो प्रयांस्तान् एवाभिधावति. The Canadian school sometimes personally appreciates the futility of sense enjoyment in the material world. And he sometimes considers material enjoyment to be full of misery. However, due to his strong bodily conception, his memory is destroyed, and again he runs after material enjoyment. Just like an animal runs after a mirage in the desert. The main disease in material life is the bodily conception. Being baffled again and again in material activity. The conditioned soul temporarily thinks of the futility of material enjoyment, but he again tries the same thing by the association of devotees. A person may become convinced of the material futility, but he cannot give up his engagement, although he is very eager to return back home back to God. Under these circumstances, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in everyone's heart, compassionately takes away all the material possessions of such a devotee. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Yasyaham anugrahana harishyatardhanam shanai. Lord Krishna says that he takes everything away from the devotee whom he especially favors when that devotee is overly attached to material possessions. When everything is taken away, the devotee feels helpless, frustrated in society, friendship, and love. He feels that his family does not take care of him any longer, and he therefore completely surrenders unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. This is a special feat granted by the Lord to a devotee who cannot fully surrender to the Lord because of a strong bodily concept. As explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Ami Viknai Murche Vishayakena Dipa. Lord understands the devotee who hesitates to engage in the Lord's service, not knowing whether he should again try to revive his material life. After repeated attempts and failures, he fully surrenders to the lotus feet of the Lord. The Lord then gives him directions, and attaining happiness, he forgets all the material needs. So material world, everyone is suffering from this disease of forgetfulness. So therefore, whether a person gets some realization or not does not matter, because even if one gets it, it won't sustain for long. Very quickly it is covered over. So in that sense, everybody in this material world is suffering from the disease of Alzheimer's. Yeah. Somehow Alzheimer's is not included in the list of such topics. But everybody in this material world is suffering from Alzheimer's. And the disease causing virus is possible. So one immediately forgets. This is the joke of the material nature, actually. That therefore, many times, many of our researchers, while they are sitting on Vyasasana and meditating on the constraints of the Lord, listening to instructions, they will end up speaking many bombastic things, which were very inspirational, very appealing, and impactful, and so on. But should not become proud at all because immediately when it comes, probably the hearer may remember for long, but the speaker will immediately forget. No question. Many times the ridiculous observation is the speaker is feeling that he is not getting any kick or juice or inspiration much, not heart of the heart. And then some young candidate will come and he'll say, Prabhuji, that lecture you gave one day, only that student knows what lecture was given, what date was given. And that point which you spoke transformed my life. Speaker himself is not transformed, like that. But yeah, uh, and then the devotees in ecstasy saying, "Thank you, Prabhu, for enlightening my eyes," so on and so forth. And that became that root. I always remember that word, that phrases, and that gives me that kick. Uh, Speaker himself is not getting kicks. So uh, so that way. So many times we see, uh, sometimes if people tell us, "Oh, you're a very good picture," we should not be proud because whatever realizations what Krishna might have given, no time on forget. And therefore, because of this forgetfulness, the living entity does the same nasty activities again and again. Like an unintelligent person being attracted by the mirage in the desert again. And therefore, the person goes on repeating the same mistake also again and again and again. How long? Life after life. It is as serious as that. Let's read further. क्वचित् सकृत् अवगतं विषयान् स्वयं पराभिद्यनेन विभ्रंशितस्मृतिः You read this? Can I challenge you to one beautiful thing that Prabhupada was mentioning there is that the Lord's help is guaranteed provided one is sincere. One is sincere enough, the Lord's help is guaranteed. क्वचित् उलूकजले स्वानवद् अतिपारुष्य रदासतोपरि प्रत्यक्षं परोक्षं वा ऋतुराजकुल निभर्तसिनेत्रासितेनपि व्याधिकारणमूलकलया. Sometimes the conditioned soul is very much aggrieved by the chastisement of the enemies and the government servants who use harsh words against him directly. At that time, his hearts and ears become very silent. Such chastisement may be compared to the house. There are different kinds of enemies in this material world. The government chastises one due to not paying income taxes. Such criticism saddens one, and sometimes the conditioned souls try to complain and chastise. Unfortunately, he cannot do it. Real management was that the sound of owls and crickets. Very piercing and painful, but one cannot do it. Everybody feels that. So everybody feels that wherever they go and wherever they look upon, encouragement and appreciation should come from. Don't feel sad. But very much contrary to the expectation of living entity is what one receives. Where it is explained that this just and very difficult people become so agitated by even a small word or a sentence. And they're ready to spend 6 8 hours, but they want to fight and box and so on. And so forth. This sort of small, very small cars. So in material life, the expectation is very concretized. So therefore, any small agitation also person is expecting favor, person is getting respect. Nowhere can one find peace. But things don't go our way. The nature of this world is everyone can try to create a satisfaction network of one's possible. But as the proposed experiment doesn't take a form, which is any difficult form better than. Sayada Dutta Purva Sukritas Takakarascar, Takatudadiya Punya Drumalakavishod, Anadam, Upyartha Shunya Dravidam, Jivanmritam. Kakakshara, Takatudali Apunya Drumalakavishod, Anava Upayartha Shunya Dravidam, Jivanmritam Swayam, Jivan Mriyamana Pradhavati. Due to his pious activity for previous lives, conditions for receives material facilities. But when they are finished, he takes shelter of wealth and riches, which cannot help him in this life or the next. Because of this, he approaches the living dead who possess these things. Such people are compared to impure trees, creepers, and poisonous wells. Such people are compared to impure trees, creepers, and poisonous wells. The wealth and riches acquired through previous pious activities should not be misused for sense gratification. Enjoying them for sense gratification is like enjoying the fruits of the poisonous tree. Such activities will not help the conditions for in any way, either in this life nor the next. However, if one engages in this position in the service of the Lord, so if one engages in his position in the service of the Lord under the guidance of a proper bona fide spiritual master, he will attain happiness both in this life and in the next. Unless he does so, he eats the forbidden apple. Yeah, so unless he does so, he eats the forbidden apple and therefore loses his paradise. So Lord Shri Krishna therefore advises that one's position should be offered unto him. Yet karo shriya prasnas yajjuhosi vinaya. Yat tapasyasi tvamjaya tat kuru swamadantam. O son of Kunti, all you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities that you perform, one should not try to possess more than he needs for the basic necessities. If one gets more than is needed, the surplus should be fully engaged in the service. That will make the conditions soul the world. And one should not try to possess more than he needs for the bare necessities. If one gets more than is needed, the surplus should be fully engaged in the Lord's service. That will make the conditions whole. One of the greatest dangers when handling material assets, material wealth is that it can overpower the person will become completely trapped. So these pious credits are lost in just no time. But then the living entity in its desperation goes here and there and approaches the living plate. They appear that as if they can help, but they are dead. They don't have any substance. They don't have any gunpowder to help. The wealth and riches acquired through previous pious actions should not be misused for such. Enjoying them for sense gratification is like enjoying the fruits of a poisonous tree. Such activities do not help the condition solving anyway, neither in this life or the next. Unless he does so, he eats a forbidden apple. Lord Shri Krishna therefore advises that one's possession should be given unto him. There's Yattarosi Rasasi Yadubhustarati Yattapasya Konte Yattakurusvamadarpanam. Musanatmati, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer your way, as well as all austerities that you will perform, should be done as an offering unto me. Material wealth, opulence, attained through previous pious activities can be fully utilized for one's benefit in this life and the next if one is Krishna conscious. So one should not try to possess more than he needs for the bare necessities. If one gets more than needed, the selfish fully engaged in Lord's service. This is so material wealth and opulence attained to previous pious activity should be fully utilized to one's benefit in this life and the next if one is Krishna conscious. One should not try to possess more than he needs for the bare necessities. If one gets more than he needed, surplus should be fully engaged in Lord's service. I'll make the conditions so the world. So the principle is desperation makes a person blind. So this desperation. So we have to understand bias traits at best it's an opportunity. But what does not make use of this opportunity is quite unfortunate. Without cultivation, Krishna consciousness, one cannot remain. So material facilitation is just a signal giving us confidence to to go and connect to Krishna, no, the fastest. It's the confirmation of that. What is the second thing? Mm. Mm. So interestingly and ironically, see the material objects themselves are fallible. They're all compared to fallible. So interestingly, uh, So material attachment are very dangerous because where the material goes, attachment is more suicide. Chase after satisfaction only leads to drinking of beautiful poison. So when opulence is very clear, that is already given to them, already given. So the attachment to material objects increases on salary so much. So that desperation, what doesn't discriminate everyone. So to get out of this vicious circle, we really need to summon ourselves to Krishna. And that's how the Lord is recommending Yat Karosi Yadasana. What if make it in that like that's very good. Ekadasha Vasanga Mati Sometimes to mitigate distress and the process of this the conditioned soul receives cheap blessings from peace. He thus loses all intelligence in mere association. It's exactly like jumping in a shallow river. As a result, one simply seeks his help. jumping in a shower. As a result, Vasant breaks his head, not able to mitigate the sufferings from the heat, and in both ways he suffers. The misguided condition so also approaches so-called sadhus and swamis who preach against the principles of the Vedas. He does not receive benefit from them. Cheaters are always there to manufacture their own way of spirituality. Yet some material benefit the conditioned soul approaches is pseudo sannyasis and yogis for cheap blessings. He does not receive any benefit from them, either spiritual or material. He receives their meditators who show some word theory and magic. They even pay gold to amaze their followers and followers accept them part. This type of cheating is very common. The type of cheating is very prominent in Telugu. Vishwanath Chaturvedi Thakur describes the real world in this way. I should approach a guru who can extinguish the blazing fire of the struggle for existence. People want to be cheated, and therefore they go to the yogis and swamis who play tricks. The tricks do not mitigate the miseries of material life. If being enabled to manufacture gold is a criterion for becoming God, then why not accept Krishna, the proprietor of the entire universe? There are countless styles of gold. And even before, the color of gold is compared to the will of the west of the yellow stool. Therefore, one should not be allowed by the gold making manufacturing gurus, but should sincerely approach a devotee like blood. So one should not be allowed by these gold manufacturing gurus, but one should sincerely approach devotees like Jadavara. Jadavara instructed Prabhupada Maharaj so well that the king was relieved from the body. One cannot become happy by accepting a false guru. A guru should be accepted as advised in Srimad Bhagavatam 11:3-24. Tasmat Guru one should approach the bona fide guru to inquire about the highest benefit of life. The guru is described as follows: Shabde Parena Nishchatam. So the guru does not manufacture gold or jewel words. He is well versed in the positions of the Vedic traditions. Vedasya Sarvirahameva Vedya. He is freed from all material contamination and is fully engaged in Krishna service. If one is able to maintain the dust of the lotus feet of such a guru, so if one is able to obtain the dust of the lotus feet of such a guru, his life becomes successful. Otherwise, he is baffled about the this time. So Prabhupada is talking about these cheaters. These cheaters are rampant. And therefore, people want to be cheated and they are cheaters for the divine and nothingness. So therefore, it becomes a very intoxicating. Lord Krishna's expertise is what that the Lord is offering us the most sublime and powerful thing, the most easiest man. Sri Sri Charitamrita Kavya 7 also describes that if you meditate on the Supreme Lord, so it is explained here uh, that when we try to take the spiritual life cheaply, then we are making ourselves susceptible to being cheated. And therefore, in spiritual life, we have to understand nothing is cheap. Everything is equal. Actually, we cannot give price to the simplest of the things or simplest of the blessings which we receive in spiritual life. And therefore, everything is a mercy. And we value the mercy when we uphold it in our heart, in our lives, right? That is it. So we should not take spiritual life cheaply. Because if we try to do that, and not valuing spiritual life means we are prioritizing the shallow goods. And jumping in the shallow rivers would simply paint oneself in the ignorance. And therefore, properly stressing on taking shelter of the modified spiritual master. And not being allured by these glittering attractions, provoking the attraction of gold is like the yellow stone. So one has to grab on to the instructions and to the mission of the devotees of the Lord. A devotee should be ready to pay the price of dedication and commitment. What should be the batch? What should be the thought process? Mother Rukmani is selling in her letter to Lord Krishna. And she's saying that, oh Lord, I'm yours. And I'm ready to wait for you, life after life after life, for millions of lives. Till you become merciful on me, son. So that should be our determination. If you take things cheaply, then we cheated. And it is like a shallow river from which you'll simply land up wounding ourselves. Let's start here for today. So we'll continue further in our next class. Transaction bank की